There used to be one show called Goosebumps.
Yeah.
So
actually a book series,
this is like back in our days. There used to be one channel called Jetix. Okay, it was after the advent of Chandramukhi. I think you can split into like before Chandramukhi, after Chandramukhi. Jaws.
Okay, Jaws.
Steven Spielberg. It's a masterpiece in horror storytelling. A horror film with a female protagonist who's as strong as any male protagonist that we have seen in horror fiction as such. Oh, man, the woman. How can I? And Vidya Karp is a masterclass in filmmaking, writing, direction. You see a film like Bramayugam. If you have not watched Bramayugam, man, it's outstanding.
What about Black Mirror? That is
oh yeah, Black Mirror. I have Black Mirror in my list. That thing gave me nightmares, man. This other game called Alan Wake. You must play it if you have not played it. It's like experiencing terror at the comfort of your house.
Okay. Hello viewers. You're watching Diaries of DS YouTube channel. Now, don't change the video. This is a very special series called Audiotapes. Not just random ordinary audio tapes, but specially curated tapes by our very own Dhana. And in this pilot episode, we're going to talk about a very terrifying topic, horror. Yo guys, hope you all doing well. I'm Mary Dawson and this is Mr. Owl. So yeah, it's a very special series in Diaries of DS YouTube channel, and we have our very own CEO and owner of the channel, Dhana. We're going to talk about the topic of horror. No, mostly about movies, but we will cover gaming and books as well. Yeah, so let's welcome Dhana to the podcast show.
Hi,
and yeah, please give the audience and viewers introduction about yourself.
So yeah, hi everybody. This is Dhana. I hope you've been watching my channel, and I'm glad that people are out there like supporting me. And I'm a bit awkward in front of the camera. I'm getting used to it. So yeah. And I'm glad to be having Maddie as part of the show. Like Maddie's been a close friend almost a year now, and it's like a very it's more like a talking with a friend. I don't want to do it like an official thingy. I just want to have fun talking about films. That's what we do. So yeah, I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you so much for doing this, Maddie. Yeah.
Yeah, another important background information. So, Dhanasegaran's fans, friends, family might know, but he's a director of photography. He has worked in Tamil industry, and he has a lot of industry contacts, and he has worked with different independent filmmakers. He has worked with me for many short films. So, yeah, he's a DOP basically, and we're gonna get different topics, about filmmaking mostly, I guess.
Yeah.
So today's topic
is the only thing that I know.
Yeah, so today we are going to cover about horror filmmaking and storytelling, right? So the very basic question when I podcast or interview people would be like, how did this topic fascinate you, or when did you get introduced to it, and from when you realized that, oh, I like this horror films, horror movies, or horror books. I want to read more. And from that point of time, so when did you discover it, and from when did you get hooked?
Okay, so the first thing that fascinated me towards horror genre was there used to be one show called Goosebumps.
Yeah.
So
actually a book series.
This is like back in our days. There used to be one channel called Jetix. Okay, it was meant for kids, like Power Rangers and all.
Yeah.
So in that there used to be one show called Goosebumps. It's based on R.L. Stein's series of novels, horror thriller type. So I saw that when I was a kid, like probably my 4th, 5th grade, I guess.
Okay.
From that moment on, I was like completely hooked, because it's not like it's horror for kids, right? It's not like very dark, gritty and all. It's like fun. Plus, there's always a mystique element surrounding horror. Like there's always human mind have always been fascinated by mystery, right?
Yeah,
the unknown. So as a kid, that intrigued my curiosity. Okay, what is this? They bring in like a lot of interesting stuff in that show. And I'm pretty sure the viewers must have seen the introduction. There used to be one one song that goes like that. it terrified me as a kid. So my mother-in-law will be saying, "Yeah, the pakada." Then I'll be, I will only watch that. So I think that is where it all started. That show was quite a, it let me inside the world of horror fiction, I would say. So from then on, like even like when I started watching films as such, it was more like into horror, mystery, thriller type films only. Mostly horror. That's how I started watching films. To
Okay.
be honest, I'm not like what to say. Oh, I watched all the great masters work. I started watching cringe horror. That is where it all began.
It's not cringe horror. That is basically children horror, I would say.
Yeah.
Horror
Fair,
meant for
fair,
children's
fair,
world.
fair.
Yeah.
Fair. So that's how it all began. And yeah, and one more thing was, what fascinated me towards that genre is that it's like experiencing terror at the comfort of your house.
Okay.
In real life, you cannot do that. Like if you are in a terrific situation, you are in that. You have to somehow solve it and get out of it. But experiencing something terrifying happening, but at the same time, you are at the comfort of your house. Apart, no problem for me. That is quite intriguing. Like, okay, but in real life, you cannot be terrified like that. At least I don't want to get into a horror movie situation. There, no way. But yeah, that it gives you that still the adrenaline rush at the safety of your house. That's what intrigued me towards horror genre.
Okay. So when you grew up and the Goosebumps got you into the world of
Yeah,
horror.
yeah.
So what solidified or okay, I want to explore this more. Which any particular movie or series?
There used to be one channel. There's still one channel called Vijay TV.
Yeah.
I'm Tamilian, so all would be knowing.
Yeah.
So Vijay TV, they telecast these dubbed films in
Oh,
Tamil.
okay.
Every Saturday, Sunday they telecast films.
Okay.
So every Sunday morning 11 a.m. they used to come one film. Sunday afternoon I used to watch all. Back in those days, we did not have serial concept. Nowadays, it's like 24/7 serials are running in the television.
Okay.
But that time, like they telecast movies. Saturday, Sunday, both had like 11:30 one slot, 2 p.m. one slot.
Okay.
Same on Sunday.
Okay.
Saturday, Sunday, nothing. After I had one schedule. 11 o'clock, by like 11, 12, I'll finish all my homework and stuff. Rest of the 1.5 days only for movie watching.
Okay.
That's how my days went.
Okay.
So I remember one Sunday very vividly, television, my mother was cooking some biryani or something. 2 o'clock, she came. What are you doing? No, Amma, I'm watching this film. What? It's called Silver Bullet.
Okay.
The film's called Silver Bullet.
English film?
English film, dubbed in Tamil. Yeah. It's called Silver Bullet. I think
Okay.
it's a Stephen King. You know Stephen King.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
master of
Yeah.
horror. I didn't know Stephen King back then. So it had a very interesting premise. Like it happens in a small town. Like one of those guys is a werewolf. The kids go around like trying to find out who's the werewolf. That film blew my mind.
Okay.
I was like, I am a big food fanatic. I skipped my biryani to watch that film. I was like, Ma, I'll come. This film is going on interesting. Let me wait. I used to sit and watch the commercials also. I don't want to miss a second of that film.
Okay.
So that film drew like, that's when I got to know, okay, this genre is very exciting, man. Like what and all, people are able to do, and it like it's captivating your imagination, right? It's so good. So that's what I think. I think that I watched that when I was 6th, 7th grade type. That was quite an entry. That's how I went into I ventured. Okay, beyond Tamil films, there is a completely different world of horror because in Tamil as such you don't have much horror fiction. It's quite especially after the advent of Chandramukhi. I think you can split into like before Chandramukhi, after Chandramukhi.
Horror. It became horror comedy.
It became horror comedy. I was like this eating, what is it? There's one popular comedy, Santanam says, Chakara Pongal Vadagiri, like that types. I am personally not a fan of horror comedy. I don't like horror comedy. Chandramukhi was fun. Okay.
Yeah.
But I personally don't like horror comedies. But after that, like since it was a trend, people were making just horror comedies. There was no pure horror as such.
Yeah.
Experiencing a film like Silver Bullet, I was like, wow, man, you can tweak the genre according to, and still, captivate a person's imagination. That was fascinating.
Okay. Okay, let's cover the basics now.
Yeah.
So, what are your favorite classics. So let's just stick to classics now. So
Yeah.
obviously, growing up, you would have watched a lot of classical horror movies,
I did.
many language, English, Tamil,
Yeah.
Hindi. So yeah.
So classics, I would say, of course, Evil Dead.
Okay, Evil Dead, yeah.
The original Sam Raimi one.
I'm a huge fan too.
Yeah. See, this 80s was such a time, Maddie, in Hollywood cinema. And like, there's this bunch of filmmakers. They came up with particular
Slasher
horror
slasher, yeah.
type films. There used to be one film called what is it? 80s
Texas Chainsaw
Texas Chainsaw Massacre that came in late 70s, I guess. A lot of horror fiction came during 80s. Plus, that time itself, that neon lights, these kids going around in bicycles. This is all your Steven Spielberg, like ruled the 80s. So I'm a big fan of the 80s horror fiction. Some classics, I would say Evil Dead, of course.
Okay.
And there was this one film called Jeepers Creepers. I don't know if you ever watched it. So it's actually, there's this one friend Akka of mine. She gave the DVD.
Okay.
Watched that film. It's so good.
Okay.
So it's.
What is the story?
So basically, okay, it's like one brother and sister. They go on a highway. They get lost or something. Something happens. They run. They are being chased by one guy in the truck. So they evade that guy and go. But they see after a while they see the guy dumping something into a church. There's one abandoned church and it gives all this creepy vibe. So they see the guy dumping something into the church's basement. So they go explore. They find out that it's not a normal guy, it's a demon. It gets awakened only in some 5 to 10 years, something. I don't remember the exact timeline. So since they have explored the place now, the demon has got scent of them and it's following them. That's how they escape from the demon forms the rest of the story. And when I was a kid, it was like, oh wow, man, like what's gonna happen? Like the Jeepers Creepers was good, and the monster is so it's so grotesquely designed. It's like you get the creeps, you get the chills once it comes into the story. That's one film. The Shining, I watched it much later. Shining, I think during the college days I watched The Shining. It's a master class in horror. People who really want to take the genre seriously and want to study horror as a fiction, I would say Shining is a master class. It's a classic. Like you cannot beat The Shining. The atmosphere, the mood it creates, and Stanley Kubrick being the master himself, Shining is like an outstanding piece of fiction. And from what I heard, a lot of Stephen King's books have been adapted into films. The only film of Stephen King which he liked was The Shining. From what I heard, I don't know how much of it is true. So Shining, Jaws.
Okay, Jaws.
Steven Spielberg. It's a masterpiece in horror storytelling. There's one. I'm sure if you follow films a lot, you would have known the history. While shooting Jaws, the mechanical shark did not work properly. So Steven Spielberg had to resort on not showing the shark that much into the screen.
Okay.
That is how if you watch Jaws now, you have very minimal shots of the actual shark itself because the shark was not functioning. They would say on a very good day, they'll shoot just 2 scenes. Because they had a very brilliant idea of shooting in the middle of ocean as well. The ocean, you place the camera here, the boat drifts away. You cannot place like a stable shot and get call it a day. So, and Steven Spielberg had to reinvent the genre himself. So he drew a lot of inspiration from Hitchcockian type films where they don't show the killer. Glimpses of killer is shown here and there. At the end, the killer comes and the face is revealed. Just like that, he resorted to showing the monster the climatic moment.
Okay.
That's why it became like a groundbreaking hit. Jaws is still considered one of the best films of Steven Spielberg. And Spielberg made another TV film called Duel.
Oh yeah.
Duel is also equally good. Duel is fantastic.
But that's not horror, I guess.
It's not horror. See, if you think like that, they don't show the who's driving the truck. We don't know if it's a person or it's a thing. So, okay, technically,
I've not seen. I've heard about.
Duel is so good. Duel is so good, Maddie. Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, that's a good horror.
That's a good. That's a good film in terms of the female protagonist. That's the first time I saw a horror film with a female protagonist who's as strong as any male protagonist that we have seen in horror fiction as such. So Silence of the Lambs is a very good classic example. Psycho. Hitchcock.
Psycho. Yeah, that is classics of
Classics of
classics.
classics. Whatever the fast cuts, the way he uses cuts.
Revolutionary filmmaking.
It's mind blowing. Apparently, this I heard from a filmmaker friend of mine. He told apparently when Psycho, it's a book, right? So when Hitchcock read the book first, he was so much fascinated. He didn't want people to read the book. He wanted to make a film instantaneously. So whoever bought the book, he took the record from the publisher. He went to their homes, paid them money, got the books back, and made it into a film.
Oh,
And since it was more of an indie production, because the last few of his films did not do well, he did his own funding for Psycho. And to cut costs, he made it in black and white. It was not a stylistic choice of making it in black and white, not to cut costs, because color film roll was expensive at that point of time. So, and he felt that if blood shown in color, it would be more intimidating. So I want to show it in black and white. So that's why the fast cuts, black and white color, everything. And Poltergeist, 80s again.
I've heard,
It's good. It's good. So these, I would say, some of the classics that I recalled and I made a note of it. So
These are good list, but I was expecting one other movie too, Omen.
yeah, man, the woman. How can I? The woman is outstanding, man. Woman just. I saw Woman when I was a kid. Okay, at that time I did not. Again, in Sun TV, there's one channel called Sun TV where they telecast dubbed Tamil, dubbed horror English films dubbed into Tamil. I saw Woman in that time only. But Woman is more like a slow burn. I mean, you don't get it as a kid.
But that's a proper horror.
That's a proper man. It's a classic. Woman is like classic horror film. It's fantastic. The atmosphere they create. It's mind blowing. I love the Woman.
Yeah, the reason I brought it up because I watched it. I didn't watch the Hollywood movie. I watched the Tamil remake.
Janma Nakshatram.
Yeah, so I don't know whether they got rights. So I think it is one of those movies where every language in India was remaking.
Yeah. They did.
We could find a Telugu movie or Kannada movie of similar plot. One is that famous. It was world famous at that time.
Woman was outstanding.
Yeah, that's why I was.
Oh, actually, I have Woman, but I have it in a different genre. I mean, different topic. So, Woman is outstanding.
Cool. Now that we covered his fascination and the basics, classic favorite, so we'll jump into the core aspect of filmmaking, right? So, how do we make horror films? And as a director of photography or coming from a filmmaking background, what do you think are the elements that are needed, must needed for horror filmmaking?
Okay, so basically, any horror fiction, I would say the primary thing is the atmosphere, the world that you're creating. See, in drama films or any other, only in genre specific films you can be stylistic. Okay, let's take a film like Forrest Gump. Okay, it's a very pleasing, heartwarming film. In those films, it's more like character driven. You cannot stylize the world around the character. You have to show the world as beautiful, or there's no much stylistic choice. But you take a genre like horror, you can just play around. You can mute the colors, you can amp up the colors depending on the scenario, whatever world that you're trying to create. You can just go berserk, you can go bonkers. But again, everything has to come down to the story. It has to serve the story and the narrative purpose. Okay, let's take a film like I think there's a video game also. There's this film called Silent Hill. Hideo.
It was a game.
Kojima.
Then it was made into a
Hideo
movie.
Kojima, the Japanese guy. He's a master in horror video games. So Silent Hill, they made it into a film.
Yeah.
I think that was the first film I was like astounded with the atmosphere, the world that they created, because it's always a desaturated look. It has a lot of colors are muted. The production design, the horror film, you have to pay much attention to product, because in a horror film your mind is alert, like it's 10x more alert. So basically you place a shot, you have something empty in the background, like an empty hallway or something. Your human mind is so curious, what's going to happen there. In normal drama films, we seldom pay attention to the background, but horror films, especially mood-driven, atmosphere-driven horror films, every element plays the trick. You have to know what are all tricks you have up in your sleeve so that you can play around. See, any filmmaking as such is manipulation of emotions, and fear is like one heightened emotion wherein your entire adrenaline is like on top of your head. You're like so alert. So every attention to detail is very important. According to horror fiction, is what I feel. Take a film like 13B, Yavarum Nalam. It was in Tamil. So in that film, generally PC Sriram was the DOP for that film. You see a film like 13B. What they did quite interesting was uh, a lot of use of like very close telephoto lenses. Generally, telephoto lenses, like long lenses, you use it for like more aesthetic appeal because it blurs the background, gives a very beautiful bokeh and all. But ironically, they've used it to create a terrifying look. You see Madhavan's face like so close on the frame, it gives you that claustrophobia because that's set in a completely an apartment space. It's I don't know how PC Sriram managed to pull it. It's a study. It's a people who are learning filmmaking. It's like a masterclass. I heard from one story from a director friend of mine. He told that while shooting Yavarum Nalum, PC had like all the he had his assistants, the gaffers, set the lights. Something it seems. Then he had to take a break and come back. He was like, okay, turn the lights off. We'll shoot without the lights. So I think see it's 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 quite fascinating because again horror as a genre you play around with light and darkness. The You play with the contrast ratio. What's the brightest part of the frame, the darkest part of the frame. You see a film like Bramayugam. That if you have not watched Bramayugam, man, it's outstanding. It's a masterclass. It's a modern classic, I would say. 10-15 years down the line, people will take and study Bramayugam.
Mammootty film.
Brahm, it's amazing. It's completely shot. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about the film. It's completely shot in black and white. The way they manipulate it, it's just three characters, Maddie, and there's usually horror films always have this, some there are like quite a lot of horror tropes. If you see slasher fiction, there are always hot women running around. So even if you're not fascinated by you're like, okay, at least there are hot girls, so I can look look at them. But you take a film like Brahma Yugam, there are just three men, all of them look dirty, but you're still intrigued by the drama. I was like, man, I have a Mallu friend. I was discussing this film with him the other day. He was like, "Hey, Macha, that film was like, it gave me creeps, man. I was not able to watch it the second time." I was like, yeah, I can feel you, brother. So basically the world building, I would say. You take a film like The Shining or The Thing. You watch The Thing. There's this film called The Thing.
The Thing.
It's a 80s again masterclass in horror. There was one, I think he's still there. There's one director called John Carpenter. He's heard of Halloween.
Yeah,
Halloween. Yeah, John Carpenter is regarded as one of the masters of horror. So he made a film called The Thing. Uh, Basically, this is like classic Agatha Christie trope. Everybody's trapped in one place. One of them gets killed. So it's like who's the perpetrator? Murder mystery type. So they set it in this is like an Atlantic base camp where like a bunch of scientists are trapped there. Amongst them is a shape-shifting alien.
Okay.
We have to find out who's the alien. The protagonists have to find out. There's one. I'm not spoiling the film. There's one scene in particular. It's outstanding. It's amazing. So basically, the alien it'll react even if it shapeshifts into me or you. If its blood is drawn and if you show fire against his blood, it shifts back to its original form. So they do this blood experiment. Like 5 or 6 are trapped in a room. They have to figure out. It's so unsettling. It's like I think I watched the film only once. There's this blog that I follow. It's called Cinephilia and Beyond. They generally they take very cult classic films and they give like a proper detailed breakdown of how the filmmakers made that film, what and all went behind the filmmaker's head. They seldom do horror fiction because horror is generally considered to be like a. It's not Godfather.
Yeah.
Horror is like, okay, just entertainment. But they analyzed the thing. Then only I got to know such a film existed. I watched. So basically the atmosphere that you're trying to create, the colors that you're using, what colors you're not using, the production design, the lenses that you use, visual effects. That also plays a major role since in the invention of digital effects. And digital cameras, I would say, because digital cameras have the capability to record like even in like very low light conditions. Cameras have come a long way. You see, the same setup that we have, if we had to shoot in a film camera, we would require 10x more lights.
Yeah.
But we are shooting digital, and we see that's how far we have come. So, like they say, necessity is the mother of invention. So, uh, right now, since we have all the technologies at our disposal, people are like, I see very short films also they're making quite a progress. You see a film like Lights Out, it was made as a short film. People got so fascinated. Oh, this is very interesting, man. Let's turn it into a feature film. That's basically you should know what tools you need to play around with. I don't know. I answered your question properly, but yeah.
Yeah, you covered the part that comes after the planning.
Yeah.
So when you're about to shoot pre-production.
Yeah.
So I also wanted to cover the topics of storytelling and the techniques used in storytelling. So you did touch upon the points where you talked about building story, world building.
Yeah.
So that is definitely necessary. I also want to know your point of view on character building and how. So the ghost or the subject, if in certain cases the subject will be a haunted house or a location, right?
Correct.
So the writing part. So talk about the writing part. What are all elements are required to make it a very convincing horror?
I think like any drama for that matter, it comes down to your characters.
Correct.
You have to start rooting for the character, especially in the world of horror.
Yeah.
Because see, horror is what it's trying to do. It's tingling your fear instinct, which is your heightened human emotion. So, and you need to suspend your disbelief because mostly if it's a supernatural entity, you're like, hey, how come this is possible? But like you have to suspend your disbelief. That's the main point. You take a film like A Quiet Place. You have a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
It heightens the tension up. So you should write this. You cannot like go and say, oh, let's make her pregnant. Bro, I have to have like my prosthetics have to be there. Everything needs to be planned in terms of writing itself. You have a pregnant. You have one nail. That's if you have seen Quiet Place. It's outstanding horror fiction, Maddie. Like there is, if people have not watched, spoiler alert coming, okay? So there is one nail, okay, in that film. In that film, apparently, if you make a noise, one alien will come and kill you. That's the crux of the story. So there is one family which lives in this dystopian world and they have to survive without making a noise. That's why it's called A Quiet Place. Watch just the first one. The second one, the sequels are not as good as the first one, my personal opinion. Please do all the fights in the comment section. So in that first one, the main lady, she's pregnant. So she has to give birth. Obviously, there's going to be sound. And on top, to heighten the emotion, this is what classic trope in screenwriting. It's called, what is it called? Red herring, no.
Opening, na?
Something it's called. It's
Save the cat.
No. There's this. Okay, let's forget. Let them Google.
Yeah.
There's just like one element they show in the right start of the screenplay does not serve any purpose at that point of time. But once you progress through the
foreshadowing.
Not foreshadowing, but I forgot the exact term. It's called red herring or something. Red herring is something else. I forgot the name. Okay, let them Google. Okay, it's classic horror screenwriting. Yeah. So they show one element at the top, and again that element comes. So this nail they show in the very first few minutes, I guess. It comes as a payback during towards the end because she's at the verge of her pregnancy. At that point of time, she stamps on the nail, so she cannot make noise. She's like this, and the tension heightens, and that is brilliant screenwriting. You know how he awaits the monsters. In order to cover this sound, he starts firecrackers. When I saw this, I saw this film alone once. Then I wanted to show it to my mother because if I like any film too much, I want everybody to say, hey, come, I'm showing this film. I watched it second time. I still got goosebumps. It's like, man, this is brilliant screenwriting. Who would have thought such a thing? See, this is how you should use the audio-visual medium, especially in a film like Quiet Place, where
there's more dialogue.
Exactly, it's like it's like classic filmmaking. Only through filmmaking, only through proper screenwriting, you can make such choices. So that's like I said, it all comes to your characters at the end of the day. If you don't root for the characters, there's no point. We should start feeling their emotions, like what they're going. Just like your basic dramatic writing, you should root for your characters and the world building as such. What is at stake? That is very important in horror fiction. What is at stake? Like, what are we fighting for? Like, what are we? You know, okay. Let's take a show like The Last of Us. So basically, it's set in a zombie apocalypse, dystopian world, but it's so grounded. You watch the characters, you watch the
Sorry,
drama.
not dystopian, catastrophic.
Catastrophic world, yeah. The drama still hits you. It's more than the horror things, the terrible things that's happening beyond the safe zone. You root for the characters so much. You want them to survive somehow. So that is at the end of the day, like you should know your characters, Maddie. At the end of the day, you should know who you're writing, how interesting they are as a person. See, this is where your like you said, your reading comes into play, your observation skills, the people you meet, the travels that you make, everything plays a major role in this. If you don't observe the world, if you just if you're just trapped in your own room, you cannot write such beautiful characters. You should start rooting for the characters. At the end of the day, we all watch fiction only because of that. We see sometimes I personally believe that fiction, it should make you a better person. Whatever fictional medium it may be a video game or a podcast you're listening to, a film that you're watching, a book that you're reading. It has to make you into a better version of your own self. If it does not do that, there's something fundamentally wrong with that piece of fiction. Like any fictional material is concerned, writing, characterization, world building, and again, knowing your medium, what and all tools you have at your disposal. If there is a CG, see, I don't like it when people use this one continuous take and all for the sake of. It puts me off, man. They invented something called as editing.
Yeah.
You take a film like Psycho, do you think that ching, 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 can it work without editing?
Yeah.
A guy used like 60 years ago, one film cam was like, I don't know, God only knows how many dollars. He's like, let's face how many cams we can, 60 shots we are having. He didn't care because he wanted to sell the drama. Don't do it just because you can. It has to serve any purpose to the story, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is what I was more interested because I'm in the
Writing,
editing and
yeah,
direction
yeah,
part,
yeah.
right? So yeah, but we did cover both the aspects like planning, production design, and writing. Now that we have explored this elements of horror filmmaking, let's have a quick question. So when it comes to horror, everybody's mind will be like, will it have jump scares? So people are invested in horror medium, anything, movie, game, or books. So whether the jump scare, so jump scare is more like a commercial aspect. Like if you do not even have, you can build a world, you can build amazing characters, but at the end of the day, you have to have a jump scare when you are in horror. So from what you've talked, I felt you are more of a atmospheric guy. You get satisfied when there's a atmosphere, right? So the world building, the characters, and how you have used the medium. So and but there are a lot more people who want this jump scare. So nowadays you see. I kind of watch a lot of movies and I go see the Wikipedia and I see the box office numbers. I'm like, what the hell? How can this movie earn so much money? And I realize that it's a commercial, right? So people get satisfied with the jump scare. So how do you see the balance between atmosphere and jump scare? And I'm sure that you are leaning towards atmosphere, but can you also point out why jump scare is necessary and it should be optimal or less, not just for the sake of having jump scare?
I love a very well done jump scare. I'm not against jump scare. And see, I like you said, like I said, anything is a tool. You do use your tool effectively, it works. That's it. You see a film like Conjuring. There's one shot where I don't remember the exact scene. It jumps from the top. That's a very good jump scare because he set up the world in such a way you start rooting for the family right from the start. The moment like it jumps, you go, oh, you're gonna so it's standing right behind you, man. And like that shot in Insidious, like I think the last shot where you see the it comes like this, the film ends. I like it when it's done well. Jaws, particularly, I remember there is one shot where they see one abandoned boat or something. The sheriff goes down to check. It's the boat is sunk already. He goes down and suddenly a head pops up. It's a proper like jump scare. During the initial screening, even Steven Spielberg wanted to, like, there was talk with the studio, should we keep it or not? They had like a test screening, and 9 out of 10 people got like jumped out of the seats. Spielberg told like, I'm keeping this. So I love it when it's done properly. I'm not against jump scare and all. You take a show like Vidada Karuppu. Yeah, that's like people who have not watched it. Pause this video right now. Go to Kavithalaya channel. Check that. Check it's master class in writing uh, fiction. If you
Horror fiction.
horror fiction, if you want to write fiction, just follow this writer called Indra Soundararajan. He's a master in writing horror fiction, and Vidada Karuppu is a master class in filmmaking, writing, direction, sound design. You just observe the sound, man. This came in like 97 something. You can hear the horse, like the sound pans from right to left. I was like,
Doppler effect.
chanceless, mind blowing piece of fiction that was. What was I talking? Jump scare. Okay, it had, even that show has a lot of jump scares. Again, it comes to your like world building. If you build the world so good, if you're invested in the character so much, people always buy jump scares. Nobody is against anything, right? So I don't like it when people take other people's interests for they just take my brilliance for granted. They just take my intelligence for granted. I don't like that when filmmakers do that. You don't sell me cheap stuff and get away with it. See, I have a very, see, I'm investing my time. Leave alone the money. Money can be earned. I'm investing my time. I'm giving my 2.5 hours of my life, and you just treat me like a stupid fellow. I'm not buying it. So treat my intelligence with respect. I don't mind. You see a film like there was this horror film called Sinister. Okay, if you have not watched Sinister, please do watch it. It's very good. Again, it comes to again the atmosphere, world building. It has something called as snuff films. Basically, films of people getting died. This character watches a lot of snuff films in that film. It's in that there is one shot where they show the actual monster. They keep him in the shadows throughout the entire runtime. Towards the end or something, which is a jump scare. Again, a very well done jump scare. If you have done your deeds properly, I don't think people mind it. Do your initial work properly. That's what.
Yeah, when you're talking about jump scare, obviously I agree with Dhana again. So good jump scares that relates with the movie. So Shining, that particular shot, it's iconic, right? He breaking down the door. That worked because we know that he's chasing the
Johnny.
yeah. So yeah, when it matches, so any jump scare would be good. Easily people get scared, but how well you connect with your story and the characters, and that's where it becomes timeless classics.
Completely.
And when we're talking about jump scare, we cannot ignore Asian horror. So we will delve into world cinema now. So I hope you watched Grudge.
Yeah.
So Grudge is my what do you say, all-time favorite horror movie, and I want you to talk about now the different cultures. So again, Chinese, we cannot categorize the whole East side as Asian horror. So Chinese have their own filmmaking style, Japanese, and then in India we have our own. The culture adds more dimension. So let's just talk about Asian horror and some of the popular and classics in Asian horror.
Yeah. So a lot of the popular ones from Asia, of course, they got remade in English. Ring, Grudge.
Yeah.
A lot, quite a lot. Watch the original versions if possible.
Yeah.
They are much creepier.
Correct.
They're much creepier. That's what. Because see, like Maddie said, the regional aspect plays quite a lot into the drama. There's this one popular filmmaker called Vasant in Tamil. He always tells one thing: the more local you go, the more global, universal your appeal becomes. So once you start digging into the very local aspects, the creeps are much chilling. Like the world is much chilling. Um, Talking about J horror, there's this manga. I think they made it into a anime or film. I don't know. I think they made both. It's called Uzumaki.
Oh, okay.
Uzumaki. It's by a mangaka called Junji Ito. That thing gave me.
Don't spoil it for me.
Don't spoil me. That thing gave me nightmares, man. Again, if you're watching this till now, I'm happy. Pause this right over here. You can read Uzumaki and come back to me again and curse me. So it's creepy at its best. This guy is a master in horror.
Horror,
Junji Ito. It's amazing, man. It's amazing. See, it's how creatively you can build the world. It's amazing how he does it. I don't know how he came up with such. I don't know what's going inside this guy's head. I'm pretty sure he's locked up in an asylum or something. It's. I'm thinking about it. It's itself is like, ugh, man. Uzumaki gave me nightmares. Please, it's amazing. Please read it or watch it or do something. It's amazing. Like again, it's so rooted in the Japanese culture. Japan, just like our Indian diaspora, has a lot of this local tradition, local folklores, and what's
Regional.
not.
Yeah.
So they play upon their strengths. They know they cannot make an omen. They'll make their own version. They're from right from the start. I think they have been very clear. I'll tell my own stories. I don't care about Western traditions because a lot of again this is a very cliched thing in Hollywood. They see again it comes to where they come from. Regional specific socio-political economic factors also play an important role. It's more like Christianity towards Satan worship or something like that. But if you take into West, they delve into their local gods, local myths and tradition. So coming to that, like I said, the Grudge Uzumaki, or there used to be one. I don't think it's still live. It's called Yami Shibai. It's an anime show. It's like 5 to 10 minutes episode.
Hmm.
It talks about Japanese folklore.
Okay.
That thing is also pretty creepy.
Okay.
It's called Yami Shibai. It's so good. It's so good. The animation is so good. Like because again it has to. I think it lends very well for the anime medium. I don't think you make it into a film, you cannot make it that creepy.
Okay. Okay, I understand. Yeah.
It uses the anime medium so very well. It's so good. Yami Shiba it's called. I think it ran for 4 or 5 seasons. It's so good for just 5 to 10 minutes. Yami Shiba is so good. And there's this Korean film that I watched. It's called The Wailing.
Oh yeah, I have to watch that. Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. It's so creepy. Again, there is this ghost driving away sequence. In Tamil we call pay otrathu. There's one sequence like that.
Exorcism.
Exorcism, exactly. That's the word. Uh, that sequence alone is so haunting.
Okay.
It's like 5 to 10 minute sequence. That happens in the local villages of Korea. You get to know their tradition, how their belief system works, and how they conduct rituals. It's haunting. It'll give you chills all over your spine. So that thing was so good. What else did I write? You take I would say it's more like mystery thriller connected to horror also. Death Note. See, we have here.
Which is Death Note. No.
Again, like leave alone the brilliant parts of it, like the detective fiction and all. See how they are taking their own the Shinigami, the god of death. They're taking that one and converting it into a piece of
Oh, yeah.
fiction, and like they tell certain things which make you think, oh wow, like how can a human intellect think of something like that? They say like what is that? Uh, after you use a death note, you neither go to hell or heaven. It's like you're going into nothingness, is what they tell.
Eternal.
Yeah, you're basically you're doomed to, your soul is doomed to stay in nothingness for eternity. In Death Note, if you watch it, they just give it as a line. It makes you think. There's one popular quote of Martin Scorsese. He says, "Cinema is a matter of what's in the frame and beyond the frame." He gave me just a line. My brain goes berserk with it. So, coming to regional horror, I would say These are like some of my favorites, and like how they use the atmosphere. You take again Vedada Karpu for that matter. They use the local entity called Karpsami, and they tell a very fascinating story about it. I saw a Malayalam film called Churuli. It's pretty twisted, man. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that guy, Lijo Josh Pelisheri, he's the director of Jallikattu and Angamali Diaries, and all. He made Churuli. And Churuli, there is one particular sequence, the opening sequence. It's amazing. It's amazing. I don't know how they come up with stories like this. It's again, the more rooted you go, the more global you get in terms of the appeal. So these are some of my right now I can think of these things, and they tell a very good story around surrounding the local culture.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, we covered a lot of good list classics.
Yeah.
So being filmmakers, myself and Dhanasekaran, our expectation, or we don't get easily attracted or pulled into a world, any genre for that sake. And horror, there is a getaway, like it could scare you, so you could get into the world being a filmmaker. It's easier to get into a horror film, but provided it's a good horror film.
Yeah.
So I want you to list the last 5-10 years, modern, like any good watch horror films. Like for me, the recent in the sense the last 5 to 10 years, the thing, knowing that when I see a shot, I know how I will be thinking like how they pulled it, where they kept the light, what they would have instructed. So that's how I decode a shot. I don't watch the shot. So being this kind of frame set to get into a film is a huge deal, right? And when we give recommendation, it's obviously going to be a good recommendation. So the recent films that I've watched and it made an impact on me, horror, is Incantation.
Okay.
And it's an Asian film, Chinese, I guess, Chinese film. The music was so good. And then Hereditary from Hollywood. So that is, I would say it's a modern classic. It's so these two films I can give you. So what are your recent watch, and which impacted you a lot in the last 5-10 years?
Like 10 years, I don't know because I used to watch films from. See,
I mean, the movies that were released in the last decade.
I don't know, I might have very few. Probably this Sinister came like last 5 to 10 years. I love Sinister. There's this Tamil film called Maya. It is so good.
Okay.
It's so good. Particularly if you are learning filmmaking, like in terms of sound design, half of the film is black and white. Sound design, production design, sound mixing, acting, writing. It's a masterclass in horror fiction. Maya is so good. And what else? Iram. There's again this film called Iram.
Yeah.
It's again world building, atmosphere. I think Manoj Paramahamsa was the DP for that film. He told he particularly avoided the usage of red color in that film because it's Iram, blue. So they wanted all desat blue colors. So Iram is another good film. I know it's not a recent one, but again, there's this film called Demonte Colony in Tamil.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to say, but I thought it's a comedy again, right? So it starts with comedy, but it's
dwells into the horror zone. Demonte, Don't Breathe. Don't Breathe is it's a very good film, I would say.
Don't Breathe is amazing. I watched it later.
Don't Breathe is good. And there's this film called Game Over by the same guy who made Maya.
Okay.
Again, it's a Tamil film. It's I would say one of the most inventive horror films. Just like how you play a video game, your character is bound to die multiple times, right? Like that, in that film, the character has like 3 lives. So she has to figure out a solution before her 3rd life runs out. It's again like we recorded one podcast for Maddie just before. He was talking about how a book has like both visual and text information. Just like that, this guy was able to integrate video game mechanics into a film screenplay. Again, that's a very inventive technique of writing a horror fiction. So I loved Game Over. It was very inventive for that matter. Quiet Place.
Conjuring and Insidious also doing a good job of living up to the legacy.
Feel that see, I like Conjuring, but I think it's a bit overrated. Conjuring, Insidious, like a lot of this.
There's a Conjuring is world building atmosphere. Insidious, why I like, because obviously the sequels are not good,
Yes.
right? They are trying to live up to the location, but the first film at least it had that good a concept.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Concept-oriented films click in horror.
Correct. That film. I mean, I'm okay. I like them, but it's just like it's so out there. Like a lot of, I want people to explore the genre. See, I'm like a person who keeps keep digging stuff. So for me, like you have to go into the territory where other people have not. There's this film called The Descent. If you have not watched The Descent, watch it. It's amazing world building. It has like a very good twist. If you're not if you're in a person into twist ending stuff, Descent is a very good film. It came in the last 20 years. I don't think if it'll count in your list, but Descent is a very good film. There's another film called Rec REC.
No, I'm not.
So it's a found footage style. It's a Spanish
Yeah.
film, Spanish or French. I don't know the language. It's amazing, man. It's so, what is it? So creepy. Like because the entire film goes like a found footage style fiction. That film is good. So modern, if you would say, that's the modern that I've got.
Yeah, it's rare to get good horror movies nowadays. I think
Sorry. There's this TV show called From. From. It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
The recent one.
Yeah.
I like that one. It's
What about Black Mirror? That is
Oh yeah, Black Mirror. I have Black Mirror in my list. Black Mirror, I would say it's more like science fiction horror, right?
Yeah.
It's not horror for the sake of supernatural entities won't
The
come.
concept gives you creeps.
Yeah, exactly. There is one episode in particular. It's called Black Museum.
Okay.
I think it's 4th season now.
Yeah, I know that.
Man, it's so. If you have not watched it, please. There is one guy. Major spoiler. Okay, there is guy who finds pleasure in getting pain. In that particular episode, the amount of stuff he keeps on doing to have that dopamine rushing into his brain it'll give you creeps, man. Black Mirror is a modern classic. Black Mirror.
Most of the episodes they explore horror.
Yeah.
Later, as you said, the science fiction is the
Science fiction is and to give a very good hindsight of Black Mirror, where it drew inspiration from, there is this classic show called The Twilight Zone.
Okay.
It started in the 1950s and 60s. There's this guy called Roy Schneider, I guess. Roy Schneider or Rob Schneider, I don't know. They'll correct me. So he made a series of. It's a television show in the 1950s. It's called The Twilight Zone. A lot of horror fiction that you see right now drew inspiration from Twilight Zone. So it's like a godfather of science fiction horror type. Every episode has a twist. Like it's like 20 minutes long. It's amazing. Twilight Zone is amazing. Or Jordan Peele, you know, right? The guy who made
Get Out.
Get Out.
Get Out.
Get Out is another modern classic. Us.
Yeah.
US. So Jordan Peele got inspired for Get Out as and all from Twilight Zone. So it's like godfather of horror fiction, horror science fiction, Black Mirror. So those things are good. And there's this podcast that I used to listen. It's called Black Tapes, the Black Tapes podcast. That I would also say that's also a modern classic. It's amazing. It's very well done. It's very well done.
Okay. Yeah. So Creep, I was just getting reminded. Creep is a very good found footage horror. So do check it out. Yes, we did touch upon the point. I want to extend that discussion now. Inventive horror filmmaking. Not just inventing filmmaking, but in horror. So the last 10 years, found footage has been, I think it has been, what do you say, explored and exploited, saturated, that particular. But as you said, that Game Over, I have not watched it, but using the gaming medium to, convey visual. So that seems one particular topic. Found footage and what else you can do inventive in horror filmmaking?
Like I said, I was mentioning this podcast called Black Tapes.
Okay.
See, I would say a podcast, just an audio drama medium, would be even more creepier in terms of horror fiction. Why? So because the entire world building is up to you. So they given part of the information. So you fill in the rest. You imagine how the world to be. Black Tapes did that for me. Like the ambience it was able to create. There is one particular episode. There's something called as breaking the fourth wall. Like I'm looking at the audience, so it's breaking the fourth wall. Black Tapes did that particular thing in one of the episodes. They make the audience listen to a certain thing, and they'll make you. The audience will feel like why did you put this to my head right now? That was very inventive for me. When I listened to our Black Tapes, that was a very good thing. Black Mirror was a very good inventive type horror fiction.
Story
I would say
concept.
there's something called as Bandersnatch in Black Mirror, where you're able to make decision on behalf of the character. They
Yeah, it's a series, I guess. They make a
it's just
series out
one
of
or
it.
two episodes they made. So basically, the story plays on. You choose the ending. On basis, the story narrative will
Interactive.
interactive. Yeah. That one Game Over was a very good inventive horror film. Quiet Place. Quiet Place, I think they reinvented the classic filmmaking from the silent era. What in the films back in those days when the films did not have sound as when you just had visuals as the medium. I think they reinvented that. Quiet Place did that very well. The Blair Witch Project.
Oh, yeah.
Why I would say Blair Witch Project? Because people who want to market their films just go study how they market Blair Witch. It's outstanding. So basically, Blair Witch Project, it's a found footage horror film. It came in the late 97, 98, I guess. They had a very good marketing campaign. None of the artists were known to the world. Everybody was newbies. So they told the marketing companies a genuine found footage where teenagers gone missing. They just found this footage. Some random traveler or something found the footage and they releasing it as well. People all bought that and they went into the film. But that's brilliant marketing campaign.
Even Incantation, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Incantation actually, I don't know whether they market it, but it's like, I'm not spoiling anything. So if you watch it, you will get the curse. So I'm sure they would have done such kind of marketing.
That's quite interesting, right? And there's this film called what did I write? Wait. Okay, you see a film like some films they do explore the concept itself. Like they take a film like Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, okay, you die in your dreams, you die in your real life. That's quite inventive.
That's why I like Insidious, you see. Yeah.
See, that's in writing itself. This has to come. Right? Nightmare on Elm Street. I liked it. There's this film called Black Phone. I think Stephen King's son was the writer for Black Phone. That is quite interesting as a film.
Kidnap.
It's because and I like it when people mix real life elements and they make it grounded, but you still get the creeps, you still get the chills. You take a film like Get Out or Us, it talks about racism, but horror being the primary trope, the racism aspect takes a subtext. But again, this is where you become inventive as a filmmaker. If you want a message to be sent across, doesn't mean that you have to always make a drama film out of it. You choose the genre, you be the master of your own material. And a guy like Jordan Peele, he was able to convert it into a very interesting horror. I think it won the Oscars. Get Out. It's a very interesting film. So yeah, these are all. I think they made a very inventive use of the genre, the medium itself is what I feel. So,
Yeah, so that was a good discussion on inventive filmmaking. But coming back to the independent filmmakers now, like as also, I'm sure most of the horror films were like the beginning of great filmmakers or popular filmmakers right now. So if you see, they would have done a very minimalistic movie. Mostly it would be horror or some other genre, but like Pizza or
Pizza. Oh yeah, Pizza. Man. Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing film.
So Pizza set the tone for the entire industry, right? So it was a very what do you say, low production, budget production, and a lot of, like you said about Blair Witch Project, right? So when it comes to independent filmmakers, minimalism is something which we cannot escape, right? So how can you play with minimalism? Okay, we don't have much funding or choice or lavish production design. So how can you play with minimalism? Is it like a gift, blessing, or a curse?
Depends on the individual. I would say, see again, even if a film is contained in a small space, it can still convey big ideas. Is what I feel. You do not have to have like Warner Bros. Level production. You should have a creative mind. That's it. You take a film like Demonte Colony or Pizza, like you said. They're all made in like a small setup. Don't breathe. Just one house, one old guy, and a couple of teenagers. So it at the core it comes to your writing and how you build the world of that film. If you're able to make it convincing, see, again, the point is to make it convincing. The horror as such, again, like I said, fear is a heightened emotion. People should be sold like, okay, this guy is the monster. Now I believe that he's the monster. People have to get away from it.
Make
From
believe. Yeah.
make believe.
Yeah.
You take a film like The Thing. Again, it's a self-contained film. It happens. See, what I would say is try to make the locations as minimal as possible.
Yeah.
If you have multiple locations, the cost is going to add up.
Yeah.
If you're able to set the fiction completely in one, you take Nolan's very first short film. It's called Doodlebug. It's again a masterclass in science fiction. I wouldn't say it's a horror, but it gives you an horror eerie feeling. Make it contained. That's where your dramatic writing comes into play. You watch a film like 12 Angry Men, you can gain inspiration from 12 Angry Men, and you can convert it into a horror film. It's just like stealing formulas from everywhere, substituting your own values. That's how you should
12
evolve as a
There was a movie called, I think, 12 Ghosts, 16 Ghosts or something.
yeah, exactly. So again, it's like setting up the space, and and bringing in the audience like a twist or something that will make the fiction work. There's this film called 1408. Who was it? John Cusack.
Yeah, I watched
Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
1408 is so good. It's set in just one
Hotel
room. No budget, no big budgets, no big stars, but still it gives you that feel. See, there's in Tamil there's a quote, "Manasirunda margam undu." So if you would decide to, still have a very minimal budget, see, that's when you become creative, is what I feel. So you don't have to see minimal budget as a curse as such. If you have a convincing idea and you're able to pull it off in a convincing way, and horror, I think half of the world building comes from the sound design. Right now, you go to the internet, you get awesome soundscapes. You can just use that and still make great piece of fiction. So at the crux, the storytelling is what it matters. If you're good at storytelling, I think you can overcome these distractions, and people will buy. It's the very as independent filmmakers, the only thing that we're majorly concerned about is will people accept my work, accept me as an artist. But to be very honest with you, people, if they love your honesty, with the work that you have, if they love your intention behind the work, I'm pretty sure they'll buy the film. So, but again, you have to grow up the ladder somehow. If you're not only in terms of the budget, in terms of your filmmaking, the inventiveness in making the film, you have to keep reinventing yourself. Now it turned like an advice session.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to cover that point, especially you told it now. So we have to reinvent, no choice. We are living in the what do you say? I don't know. It's for the good or worst, booming digital age. Everything hits you on your eyes. So, not to stand out, you have to reinvent, especially in filmmaking and with your short films or anything.
Exactly, because people have multiple media to consume right now. Films. I heard one.
Not have, they've already.
I heard like one filmmaker called Ram in Tamil. He always used to tell one thing. Down the year, 20 years down the line, film will become like theater. One ticket will cost like 3,000, 4,000 bucks, and people it'll become like an elite medium. So right now I can see that happening. Multiplexes have taken over. One ticket costs like 400, 500 bucks. People have, only for big films, big blockbuster type films, they're getting into the theaters. So there's no other go. We have to reinvent somehow and sell the illusion to the audience. That's what it is.
Yeah. I hope I have covered all the topics that you wanted to talk. Any other points that you have?
So I want to talk a few on video games, like horror.
Oh yeah. So how can I'm a gamer. How did I miss out? Okay, so right now it's the golden age of gaming. If you observe, I'm not sure gamers know it, but no audience from other end, like the movies and the books. So you see a lot of, especially in the last 5 years, a lot of games have been transformed into movies and series. Last of Us is one good series. People think it's a series, but it's a game, guys. Go play the game and then watch the series. The game is so good than the series. So yeah, being a gamer, I feel so happy and elated that gaming is getting recognized. People think, oh, game. people who play games are like, goners or like waste. They don't do anything, just sit and play games. But the storytelling in games and the camera works, the gameplay mechanics are so good that they're being made into film. Being you're also a gamer, I feel, not like a
I'm
what
not
do you say,
as
adept gamer or what do you say, fanatic.
I'm a
like
casual
me.
gamer.
Yeah, casual gamer as well as core industry cinematographer. What do you think about the stories in games? First thing, and then how gaming is helping the movie industry.
So, like you said, gaming, it's just like you play as a character. So you start rooting more.
Yeah,
Because film is a
it's on
passive
you.
medium. It's on you.
Yeah.
Film is a passive medium. You sit,
Yeah.
you observe. Game, invariably you have to root for the character because you are playing that person.
Okay.
Especially with first person narratives. It's more personal. You get more claustrophobic.
Investment is there.
Investment is more. So gaming as such will lend to the genre much better than films. Again, like with the advent of digital technology, gaming has come so far. You download Unreal Engine in your PC right now, you can build a game like tomorrow if you're that dedicated. So I would say I have like a list of games that I played, which I think they did a pretty good job in telling a very interesting story. There was this game called Outlast. I don't remember the studio's name. It's a first-person found footage type horror. It'll give you creeps. It'll give
PC
you,
game.
PC game. It'll give you sleepless nights. My
Okay.
dear. I watched like a ton load of horror fiction.
Yeah.
I always keep the lights off. I watch alone. I don't care.
Okay.
That was the first game I kept my lights on and I played.
Okay.
It was that. It's because like I said, you invest more in the characters,
Okay.
and it's a first-person narrative.
Okay.
And you put on headphones and all, you're dead, man.
Don't tell me it's first person.
It's first.
Oh shit.
Again, like you said, the gameplay mechanics.
Yeah.
One very interesting thing that they did with Outlast was that you cannot use weapons against the entities. You have just a camera. It's a dark asylum or something. You have to escape from the monsters, and the camera has limited battery, 10 batteries. You can go collect batteries here and there, but without camera you cannot see shit.
Okay.
It's completely pitch dark. It's like infrared camera. You put the camera on, you watch. Otherwise, it's off.
Yeah.
Man, and there's one sequence in that game where you lose the camera.
Oh shit.
You are on the 5th floor of the building or something. One ghost comes and pushes the camera down. It goes to the basement.
Oh.
And you have to navigate through that creepy building without the camera.
Yeah.
See, this is where you should know your medium. The way they design the geography, you play the game once, like you lose your life once or twice, you understand the geography. Okay, this way I go, I'm not attacked by the monster. So you plan your route. See, I love it when filmmakers involve the audience. They respect the audience's intelligence. I love each and every aspect of how they thought through this. Okay, if I were in a situation like that and if I had to lose power, how would I design the geography of the game in such a way that the player can get back to that position and start from scratch all over? That's very good, thinking about the consumer. Like, see, at the end of the day, whatever said and done, it's a commercial medium, video games or films or whatsoever. I like it when people think in the point of view of the consumer. Why do you think Apple is a big success? They know their consumers what they want.
Was successful.
Was.
Now.
Was, yeah. Again, it comes to the intentions of the filmmaker or the artist themselves. So Outlast was one interesting game. I would say Control. Another game. Control is so good. Control is
protagonist.
Control is amazing. The world building atmosphere. I like it when people bring in the film aesthetics to game.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure all of the artists they started this because of their love from cinema or books or whatsoever. Control is one such. I mean, Control has this visual element. You can put in film grains and play in it. So basically, when you're shooting film, the grains form on film.
Okay.
When the film is underexposed, the film roll is underexposed, you see this noise. It's called noise or it's called grains. Basically, lack of information is grains. Film produces amazing grains. When you shoot actual film, it produces amazing grains. You can put those film grains on Control and play. Sometimes I just watch the game. I sit and watch the game. It's a very beautiful game.
Yeah.
The Quarry, by the way, Maddie recommended this game. It's amazing. I'm playing that. So it's a throwback to your 80s nostalgia. So Quarry I liked because of the nostalgia element and also the game. I did like the gameplay mechanics. It was pretty.
It's restrictive.
It's restrictive, and I would say it's like 80% cutscene, 20% game. Usually it's the reverse.
It's atmosphere oriented.
I like it, but I want more playable parts. See, what's the fun? I'm playing a video game. I'm having a controller. I'm sitting and watching like a film. I don't want that, but I like the atmosphere. The world building is good. There's this other game called Alan Wake. You must play it. If you have not played it,
Okay.
it's so good. Third person mystery thriller horror type video game. It's amazing. It's so good. World building, gameplay mechanics. It's amazing. The way they narrated it. So good. Last of Us, of course.
It's a classic.
It's a classic. It's a modern classic.
Very popular.
Modern classic. I like the show also.
Yeah.
I have not played the.
I can't stand to watch the show, guys. I know
Is
there's
it?
a show because I am sold to the game. So Last of Us 1, not 2. So I love the game and I cannot stand to watch because nobody can satisfy me.
It's fair. I watched the show. I did not play the game, but I heard it's pretty good. I started playing, but I have a very shitty PC, so I'm waiting to upgrade my PC just to play the game.
Just play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll play. There's this other game, zombie game called Dying Light. It's first person narrative. It's amazing. It's amazing. Again, the way they use the gameplay mechanics. See, they when you're playing first person, your vision is restricted.
I get claustrophobic. That's why I don't like.
That's fair. But again, how well they use the medium to your advantage to give the audience an immersive experience. So, Dying Light, for that matter, was very interesting for me. And a lot of people are dwelling into podcasts, like in terms of horror fiction. I like Black Tapes. Like I said, Black Tapes was so good. There's another podcast
That's the
called
inspiration of our show name, Audiotapes.
yeah, I stole it from there. I'm not denying that. Black Tapes was so good. And there's this podcast called Limetown that I used to listen. Limetown was good.
Where did you hear the platform?
Spotify.
Okay.
Everything's there. Spotify. There was another podcast that I was listening, but after the second half, it turned not that good. If I remember the name, I'll put it in the comments in the description. And there's another podcast called Forest 404. It's by BBC Radio.
Okay.
Very well done. I would say it's sci-fi horror types, but it's so good. It's a very inventive way of narrating a story. So these are all the other mediums that I've explored in terms of horror because I'm so much sold into the medium. I want to explore. I want to get my adrenaline rushing. So.
Yeah, I am sorry that I missed out this, but thank you for reminding me. I explored. I mean, into horror games. I haven't explored, but whatever I have played is Last of Us. I'm sure everybody would have played, right?
So you're into horror,
Any gamer would have
yeah.
played. Apart from that, Resident Evil is also good. I played one game, not all the games, but it involves puzzle solving along with the horror elements.
Nice.
So that is, and then the Dark Pictures anthology I was talking about. All the games are pretty good. Dark Pictures anthology, I think 4 games are there. It's almost like Black Mirror, concept oriented or scenario oriented, and compared to the Quarry, if you like Quarry, then you'll love Dark
I don't
Pictures
think it's
because
for PC now.
yeah, but get a flash PlayStation. So there you get more mechanics freedom. So the character can move around, and then along with that there is atmosphere.
Nice.
Right, the horror atmosphere. I haven't played, but I would love to. I used to say, when I came live in YouTube, my channel, if not for filmmaker, what would you become? I want to become a gamer. Just, every day log into YouTube, play 1 of us 2 hours games, and so
that is life, man.
yeah, I would love. So I'm saving it for my retirement. So I would love to explore horror games, but the stories are amazing.
Yeah.
In not just horror games, but in any game.
Immersive, right? So like the way the games have come through all these years, man. Like you play a game like Uncharted or Witcher. Yeah, like I can do this for the rest of my life.
So do check out. You don't have to play. There are a lot of YouTube channels where they just show
the gameplays.
So these the Quarry or the Last of Us. Actually, it's also good to watch it. So
Exactly.
do check it out. Yeah.
Sorry. So last week, actually, Maddie was the one who introduced us to Quarry. So my girlfriend, she's seldom played video games. She's never taken a controller in her life. Yesterday we were playing. She was not giving the controller. So
yeah, you should get a PlayStation. Time to get a PlayStation.
more like a PC game. Okay, but I'll think.
Yeah. So Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this horror podcast, audio tapes. What do you think? How is this your first ever series and first ever episode for a series in your channel? How do you feel?
I feel good because this is a genre that I love so much. Like I said, I started watching films because of horror fiction. Then only a lot of proper the so-called classics came into my life. So I would say this was my gateway into the entry of world cinema as such, or filmmaking as such itself. Because I think our first short film was like a horror type film. So I love the genre and I love talking about it, and talking with Maddie is always fun because he gives you that space, and I think what is that? It was, he framed it in such a way that I was able to articulate my thoughts, and I don't think I've always been a person behind the camera. I didn't even think that I'll speak this much in front of the camera, but thank you for making me talk, and it was fun. It was fun recording it. Yeah, I loved it.
This is your space, Diaries of DS. Please subscribe to our new channel. And Audio Tape is going to be one dedicated series to explore different topics. And it's great that we explored horror in the pilot episode. And thank you so much for providing this opportunity as a host.
pleasure.
I love hosting. If you check out my channel, I would have enjoyed hosting different series. So one thing, horror is a very like what do you say, important genre. And as a filmmaker, there are three genres that is my forte, or like I would like to make it my strength. So one is science fiction, because I'm inspired by Nolan, and the next is crime, and then third thing I look forward to is horror. So yeah, horror is something, it's very essential, and once in a while you should get explore your scary side. And I hope you guys enjoyed listening to. Do check out all the movies that we recommended, the classics and the modern impactful movies. And once again, thank you for this opportunity, and hopefully I'll get the hosting job for the next episode as well. I'm not sure how I did. Do comment your favorite horror movies, and don't forget to subscribe. And thank you so much. You are watching Diaries of DS, and this is Mary and our channel owner and CEO Dhana. See you until the next episode. Bye bye.
Oh, before we cut away, Maddie's got his own channel, Medley with Maddie, and it's like Maddie's into filmmaking for the last 3-4 years, I would say. And
Yeah.
3-4 years. He's an amazing person, amazing filmmaker. And last year I got associated with Maddie. Please do. I'll give a link to his channel as well. Please do check out his channel. This guy is amazing, man. You should go check out his content. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Mr. Owl says bye-bye along with the Dancing and Mary.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Take care. Thanks. And please don't forget to, like, share, subscribe, whatever. Yeah. Thanks.
Cut.